Is for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for Hajj, the blessed pilgrimage. Kha is for Khatem, the seal of the prophethood given to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to today's edition of Pathway to Jannah. Inshallah, today we're going to discuss surrogate parenting. How does that sound? Are you aware of what it is? Inshallah, by the time I bring in my guest, we're going to discuss this in detail. Stay tuned for Vox Pop.
Hello, we are here on the streets of Lagos to seek people's opinion on today's topic, surrogate parenting.
Whenever you will not able to conceive, right? It has some kind of breakdown or back down. I say, kind of maybe has committed an abortion before, one, right? Two, maybe heredity problems, right? Then three, might be maybe a spiritual problem, right? Able to conceive, okay, for some times or longer time. Then now so somebody that can able to conceive on our behalf, all right? I believe, well, it's a very good thing anyway if the husband understands. Okay, depends on the husband. If he understands, it's a very good thing. There's no problem about that.
It's very good for people. It helps those that can't have children on their own. At least, you know, adoption can be dicey at times. What I'm saying is that you can adopt a baby now, and tomorrow the baby will go and say, I'm looking for my birth parents, which the parents might no longer have rights over those kids again. So when you do surrogates, mostly when you can afford this, it gives you hope that these kids I'm having is mine. So it brings hope for families that can never have kids, maybe due to one problem with the womb or lost family or whatever. So this is like the best way out of barrenness. Yes, a lot of people have done it and they are happy. There are no disadvantages. The only advantages I see in it. Yeah, there's no single disadvantage. There's no, the baby is yours. Only that maybe you don't carry it. So there's no disadvantage because nobody's coming tomorrow and take your child from you. It's your child, it's your blood, it's your DNA, it's your everything. And then there's no point, maybe you don't say tomorrow I'm looking at my birth parents. No, you are also about parents. And I've seen families that surrogacy has brought joy to. So it's very good. Only that it's too expensive.
Well, it makes a person who is able to conceive able to get a child. Okay? You know, when someone is not able to get a child, you know, it's a problem on it. But if he has a person that can help her on that aspect, that's a problem.
You're welcome back. The program is still Pathway to Jannah, and I have the privilege once again to introduce to the house Imam Sulaiman Fulani. He's Imam VGC Mosque. He is also the editor-in-chief, Deen Communications Limited. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We are discussing surrogate parenting. What does that term mean?
Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Surrogate parenting is the practice of those who are dealing with infertility issue, whether male or female, as a couple deciding to rent the service of another individual to solve a particular inability that is inherent in either of the couples. Sometimes it is the woman who is unable to give birth because either she doesn't have a womb or because of other issues medically that makes it difficult for her to carry baby to term. So sometimes in the modern world today, they have another woman to carry the child on her behalf. And sometimes it is the man whose sperm is not viable for fertilization. So on account of that, they also get a viable sperm from a donor and using it to fertilize the egg of the wife in order to have a children. So essentially it is using other means, intervention of other individual to solve a problem of infertility.
Are there particular types of these surrogates?
Yeah, there are various perspectives to surrogate parenting. We have the issue of sperm donor. This is when the man is unable, does not have a viable, sperm. Okay. So they have sperm bank and some fertility clinics, so they can use and fertilize the egg of the lady. That is one. And we also have a situation where, the wife may not have also a viable egg, so they can also harvest egg from another woman and then fertilize it with the sperm cell of her husband. Then implant the fertilized egg. They implant it into the womb of the wife or the husband, the owner of the sperm. This is another type. And we also have a situation where, the man's sperm is viable, the woman's egg is also viable, but the womb is not viable to carry a baby to term. So on account of this, they'll take the egg of the woman and take the sperm, fertilize it, and implant it into the womb of another woman. So such a woman becomes a surrogate mother. So these are some of the various types of surrogate parents.
Is it advisable for Muslims, now we've talked generally, is it advisable for Muslims who have used other medically possible means to correct infertility that exists to take to this method?
Well, first we must advise couples dealing with infertility situation to understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who grants children, and He grants him to whom He wills, and He is also the one who prevents others from having children according to His own superior wisdom. So we must first and foremost understand this. Now, does it mean that when we're dealing with infertility situation we should not do anything? No. It is permitted for a Muslim to do whatever is permissible, also to correct whatever infertility issues that they have. Now, there are some of these infertility solutions that are permitted, and there are some that are not permitted. With regard to surrogate parenting, what the scholars have mentioned is that it is not permitted for Muslim to use these means in order to solve an infertility situation. And there are several reasons, because there are several complications that arise from using this particular method. It's a modern issue. It's because it's not something that is present in the beginning of Islam.
No.
And but the scholars have responded to this particular challenge. And first, there are some that are clear case that scholars have mentioned to be zina, because this is not only having conjugal relationship directly with a woman that amounts to zina, because eventually the result of zina is also the result of some of those infertility solutions. Now, if, for instance, take the sperm of
Mr. A,
somebody from the sperm bank, and use it on the woman, this is haram. It's not permissible. So it is not permissible for somebody. There's a question sometimes ago, an unmarried lady and she desired to have a child. She went to a fertility clinic, and they requested for sperm, and she was, fertilized with the sperm, and she had a baby on account of that. So, what is the Sharia ruling with regard to this? What she has done is zina. What she has done is zina, regardless of whether she did not have, conjugal relationship with anybody, because the result is the same. So on account of it, this procedure is also considered to be haram.
With the step taken by that woman, that lady, for instance, that went to the sperm bank and then got fertilized, there could be other issues that I think should of resolving the lineage of that child. And we're going to continue that discussion with that when we come back from this break. We'll take a short break now to continue our discussion on surrogate parenting. Stay tuned. You're welcome back. The program is still Pathway to Jannah, and Imam is still here, Imam Sulaiman Fulani, to continue the discussion on surrogate parenting. Imam, from where we stopped the last time, we talked about lineage, that the question of the lineage of that child that is a product of such an exercise may become lost.
Yes, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in one of his statements, encouraged the Muslims that we should learn our lineage. In fact, it is part of the deen, it is part of the religion of Islam for you to know who your great-grandfathers are, so that you can connect ties of kinship with them. So, on account of this, when you use any sperm, any donor sperm, to fertilize the egg, you don't know who the father is. We do not even know. So the child has no paternal lineage. So on account of this, this is considered to be haram in Islam, prohibited in Islam. Or even the situation where, the other aspect of it is that Islam considered our aura, our nakedness, our private to be sacred. And it is not to be exposed for anything except something that is necessary. Now, the point is, it is considered, the scholars have mentioned that it is considered a too much exposure of the privates, because that was required for when they are going to do the implant, for the woman to have to expose her privates to the medical personnel for this kind of purpose. This is another reason why the scholars mentioned that it is not a valid choice, a valid option in Islam. And not to talk of the issue of having to implant, rent a womb. Another person, bring her womb and implant the fertilized egg in her, and the child. Who is the mother of the baby?
Yes.
Who is the mother of the baby? The owner of the egg or the one who gave birth to the baby? The controversy is real, but then there is no how. Even if the egg does not belong to her, there is attachment that to a baby that comes out of your womb. And the motherhood, the connection of motherhood is still there. So, and by and large, in fact, even if there's going to be, ab initio, this kind of procedure is not permissible, is not Islamic, is not Islamic. But then, even the one who probably has a greater right to the child is a surrogate mother. She, by Islamic standard, she's the one that can claim the child.
We are going to the other segments that we have now. Stay tuned.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. You're welcome to another exciting segment of the Muslima's Delight, brought to you by Ames Media Company Limited. On today's segment, we're going to be making catfish pepper soup. I hope you're ready for this. I can't wait. So here, you have the catfish ready, already washed, thoroughly washed. You can wash your catfish with salt, alum, or lime. It's very, very helpful. Then I'm going to be adding some Irish potatoes, already peeled and thoroughly washed. This is cinnamon powder, very, very healthy. Here, the red bonnet pepper. I already have mine chopped. You can choose to use the grater to grate them. I like them grated, but today I just decided to do something different by chopping them. So here, garlic. I already have some chopped or ready to be used. Good. I have my cinnamon powder, very, very helpful. And the taste it gives your food, oh my goodness, you don't want to miss it. Onions, you can't do without onions, trust me. The aroma it gives your meal alone, even though you don't know how to eat onions, you will want to use them. This is my spring onions, already chopped. It gives it another beauty, one fine look like that. And then ginger, yes, I almost cannot do without ginger and garlic. Very, very essential. Your rosemary. And then here, white onions for your cooking. Yeah, so let's get started. Here's our pot. Let's not forget water. Very, very essential as well. So I'm going to light my gas. Good. I'll put some water in it. My pot has been thoroughly washed, mind you. Make sure you wash all your kitchen utensils before using them. The first thing I'm going to put is my potatoes, Irish potatoes. You know, they're quite hard. So the best thing to do is to boil them first before adding the fish. I'm going to add everything. I don't want to use my hand to pack them, so that was why I'm using. I just had to pick this. Yep. You allow this to boil for a while before adding your fish. Then you need to add your salt, just a pinch of salt. I hardly use salt in my cooking, but for this, I'm going to add just a pinch of salt here. Then my spoon. Just a pinch. I can say not to add salt at all because my white onions contain little salt already, so you're also good to go without salt. Okay, so now we're going to check our potato. I'm sure it's ready by now. Yeah. So we can now add our fresh fish. I'm still going to use my spoon, my wooden spoon. Add all the fresh fish. Yeah. Good. Then the next thing is to add our pepper. My spoon is thoroughly washed. Fresh pepper. Except you like too much pepper. Okay, this is okay. You're good to go with this. And you add your ginger, garlic, beg your pardon. Add your garlic. Here's the ginger. Let's add some. It has its own aroma, the flavor it gives to your fish. You think it's something else you're eating when you start eating this. Trust me. And then your onions. Add your onions. Here, nicely chopped. My rosemary, just a little bit. All these spices are going to give this meal different taste and flavor. White onions. Yeah. Yeah, my cinnamon powder. Just a little bit. The next thing now is to add my seasoning cubes. Yeah. Good. I'm not going to add much. Just 2 or 3 is okay. The aroma here, oh my goodness. Can't wait. Just allow this to cook for a few minutes. Okay, so let's check our fish pepper soup. This aroma, my goodness. Okay, let's wash this food and check this. This aroma, it's amazing, trust me. So when you don't want your food to get burnt, particularly when you're using a non-stick pot, you use a ceramic or a wooden spoon. That's what's advisable. So let's stir this and see what we have. Okay, you see I use more of spices, natural spices actually. A lot of people, some people like seasoning, some don't. So if you don't like seasoning, all these natural spices are well enough for you. So at this point, I can now add my spring onions to retain its taste and nutritional value. That's why we're adding it as the last ingredient. See the look? See how beautiful it looks now, meal. Amazing, isn't it? Good. So let's just cover this for a few seconds. And get ready to serve. Okay, this plate is already thoroughly washed. I'm going to serve our meal here. Good. Then our tray. Now, here, get the tray for serving. The plates. Clean this. It's already washed. Okay. Let's check our meal. Ta-da! It's ready. So at this point, you can turn off the heat. Good. Then we serve. The plate is clean, already washed. Here you go. Okay. Great. Remember, presentation matters a lot. You don't want to present your meal in a very messy plate. Neither your family members or your guests want to see that. So make it very, very presentable. Okay. This, and then your serving spoon. clean already. Serving spoon. Your fish pepper soup is ready. Here you go. See? You see this? Looks yummy, right? Try this, and when you do, take pictures of a video and tag us on Instagram. Ames Media Company Limited. Assalamu alaikum.
Every second I live, every penny I give is just for you. Every breath I breathe, every trace I leave is just for you.